Today I have managed to find a witch story, because we've been talking a lot this week about witches and characters in stories, that the main character is a witch. This is actually about a character called Teeny Tiny, but Teeny Tiny and the Witch Woman. Okay, I'm going to read half of it today and half of it tomorrow. Once there was and twice there wasn't. Long ago, a family with 3 brothers. Big One, in the middle, and Teeny Tiny. Each day their mother said, "You can play anywhere in the village, but do not go into the forest to play. Your granny says a witch woman lives there, where the trees are darkest. She eats little children and uses their bones to make the fence around her house." Big One and in the middle laughed, but Teeny Tiny shivered. He was glad to play there in the warm sunshine, away from the forest. One morning, though, when no one was looking, Big One said, "Let's go into the forest to play." "Yes," agreed in the middle. "I'm not afraid of any old witch woman. Come on, Teeny Tiny." They should not be doing that. Look at the trees. They've got faces. Even the trees look scared. Now, Teeny Tiny didn't want to go, but he went anyway. "I'll keep my eyes open and my legs ready to run," he told himself. Big One in the middle and Teeny Tiny played all day in the forest. The deep dark shadows made fine hiding places, and the wild berries in the clearings made a delicious lunch. Little by little the shadows grew longer. The boys looked for the path to the village, but no matter where they looked, they could not find the path at all. At last, Teeny Tiny climbed a tree to look farther. "I see a light. Let's go there. It may be a house." I forgot to say, in the beginning, when it says the witch eats little children and uses their bones, does that make you think of any other stories? Yeah, Hansel and Gretel, it makes me think of, and Baba Yaga. They walked and they walked till they came to a little house all by itself in the darkest part of the forest. All around the house there was a knobby white fence. The gate clattered as they pushed at it. Just then the door of the house opened. Creak! And the old woman stood in the doorway. But what a strange old woman she was, with her nose turned down and her chin turned up, and just the points of her teeth showing. Come in, my children," she called, and she beckoned with her bony finger. Big One and in the middle started towards the open door, but Teeny Tiny whispered, "Wait, remember what our granny said." "Oh, that can't be the witch woman," said Big One. "She's so kind to ask us in." "I'm tired," said in the middle. "You're just afraid because you're little." "Afraid?" the old woman cackled. She had heard them. "You needn't be afraid of me. I love little children. Come in," she coaxed. "Stay with me and share my dinner. Your own nice warm beds are far away, but I have room for all of you in my little house tonight. Tomorrow I shall show you your way home. But come now and smell the good dinner I have ready for you." And the old woman hobbled over to the fireplace. She took off the lid of her huge iron kettle and, what good smells came out of that kettle. "Come on," said Big One. "I'm going inside." "Good boy," said the old woman. "You may call me Auntie." And she waited by the door as in the middle and Teeny Tiny followed Big One into the house. Do you think that's a good idea to go into this house? No. Well, the old woman set 3 extra places at the dinner table. Teeny Tiny looked around at all that he could see. Over in the corner of the room was a crooked little wooden cage. "Auntie," he asked, "what do you keep in your cage?" "In my cage? Oh, sometimes I keep stray dogs, and sometimes I keep stray cats," answered the old woman. What do you think she might keep in that cage? "And sometimes stray children?" wondered Teeny Tiny, but he didn't say anything. It was a very good dinner that the old woman scooped out of the kettle, with bits of meat and plenty of rice. The boys ate, and the good food and the warm fire made them very sleepy. "You must be tired," said the old woman. "Come now into the bedroom, and I'll put you into my nice soft beds." Sure enough, she tucked Big One into one bed, in the middle into a second bed, and Teeny Tiny into a third bed. "Now sleep well," she said, "and tomorrow just see if I don't show you your way home." Leaving the door ajar, she went out into the kitchen. Teeny Tiny waited until he heard her picking up the dishes, and then he tiptoed to the window to look outside. The moon had risen, and the moonlight shone down on that knobby white fence. Was it a wooden fence? No. It was made of bones. Leg bones and arm bones. Teeny Tiny stared at the fence, and then he looked at Big One and it in the middle, already sound asleep. They didn't know, but Teeny Tiny did. Right, what do you think is going to happen next? What could Teeny Tiny do? That is where we're going to leave it today, and we will finish it off tomorrow. So, see you tomorrow for the next half.